Hi guys, it's me, Stephen Black. Most people know us as Stephen Black Clairvoyant. I draw people's loved ones who's passed away as well as telling them stuff. I've been reading all night tonight and I thought, you know what, I'm going to come on and I'm going to make another video. I made a video last night and I've had some really good positive feedback, so I thought I'd make another video. The first thing I want to talk about in this video is NDEs, right? Near death experiences, where when people, shall we say they've nearly died, or they have died, but they've been brought back to life, whether it been in an operation or whether it's been in an accident. Um, you know, they, there's so much now. There's so much evidence and validation on YouTube and other media platforms. Go and watch it. Go and watch as many of them as you can, because what I've learned from watching them is a lot more than anything else that I've ever learned as far as I've been a practicing medium. Because when you're watching near death experiences, right, I think it's helped me understand a lot more about what I'm doing and like what is like spirit world. Because every single video that I've watched, I mean every single video that I've watched, they've all said, right, about how they felt so at peace and how amazing it was. And there was always somebody there who stopped them and says, it's not your turn yet, you have to go back. And them being like pretty gutted, which is an understatement. But watch them, right? Because whenever I get somebody who I'm reading, who I feel, which you can feel it straight away, are absolutely distraught. I mean, like, feel like they just can't get past like losing somebody who's been so close to them for so long. Like, I say to them, try and watch as many near death experiences as you can, because like, I mean, there's a podcast I've been listening to earlier this month, of a guy who actually goes around and does research on people who's died, and he talks about, in his podcast, he talks about the fact that like he's read people who's like been blind from birth, yet they describe colours and they explain what like type of colours they can see. And he talks like he's been to like all over, like I say, different parts of the world, people who speak in other languages and stuff. And like he says, he says, I actually went out intentionally to like debunk, to disprove all of this talk about like people dying and coming back. Um, and he says the more I looked into it, the more I realised that it's true, But like, didn't take my word for it or his word for it. Go and look yourself. I mean, years ago when there was only camcorders about and there wasn't no internet, there's like footage on YouTube now of people who had spoke about what happened to them years ago, like when there wasn't even any internet, so like they couldn't, like the word could not have been spread. Where you might say, oh well, they're just copying of what somebody else said. And people have been saying this for like years and years and years about what happened to them when they passed away and they've come back. But I just think people who are really struggling, I think it'll help you understand more about like, where people go to, because like another thing what I've learned as well is every single reading that I do, and I've done a lot, believers, every single reading that I've done, and I mean every single one, where I've brought somebody through like with like unanimous like evidence, there's no way you could doubt it, like validation. I've just told a girl tonight, I think it was her dad's birthday, the date of his birthday, mentioning names and stuff, and I've drew loads of people's loved ones tonight. But like, when I'm bringing all this validation and evidence through for that one person, that one individual, it's not the same as when like I'm doing shows or when I'm putting videos up of shows and stuff, because there's more people seeing exactly what I do. But I'm talking about these near death experiences. It's like people who's like, they haven't been on the internet, or it happened to them like in like 95 when there wasn't no internet about, things like that. But like, just, I mean, there was one story he says on the podcast, I forgot the guy's name, but there was one story he talks about he talks about like he interviewed a girl who had this like major operation where she'd had like a tumor or something on the stem of her brain, and it was a very rare like operation that they were doing where they had to like basically shut the brain down, and they were sending to, I think it was 100 decibels or something like that. Didn't quote on it because I can't remember word for word. Through the brain, and they had like electrodes on while they went in and operated, and they had to use these specialized tools, and she basically described in great detail like the tools that was in this like silver stainless steel briefcase, and like exactly what had happened and who like done what and the tools they used and how they got the tumor out and loads of this. And like she was basically declared really brain dead because like that would reduce her temperature core down like by a couple of degrees. That'd do loads of things, like before they operated on her, and there was like a 5% chance of her surviving it and a 95% chance she wouldn't, but she still went with them odds because she didn't have a choice. But when she come back, she describes everything in great detail. But like I said, that's just stuff that I've learned. I think there's a lot of like knowledge out there now. There's a lot of like education. There's a lot of stuff there that you can watch and learn yourselves. And I think when you do watch them, you'll probably understand a lot more what I've learned as well. Um, and I've just written a few key points down what I wanted to talk about on this video, because I want to show you a couple of more readings that I've done for people as well whilst I'm talking. But the other thing I wrote down was, why is it okay for you to suffer? Like, what I mean by that is, like, I read a girl tonight, right, who had lost her son in a horrendous way. He'd fell off a curb into the road, and a car had hit him and killed him instantly, which I told her about. I described where he was. I described the field that was next to him, with horses in. I told her a lot of stuff. And while I was talking away to her, you didn't know who she is, so I can talk about this, because I like to keep people's readings like private, like as such. But I wrote down like, why is it okay for you to suffer? But what I mean by that is, right, like when you lose someone, like she'd lost her son, I says to her, was this your fault? And she went, no. And I says, was it your daughter's or son's fault? And she said, no. And I said, well, why is it okay, right, for your kids, his sister and brother, I think 2 brothers, I can't remember, well, it doesn't matter anyway, because you don't know how it is. I says, why is it that it's okay for them to lose a brother and lose like 2/3 of the mum as well? And she says, and they keep telling us off like to eat better and this, that, and the other. And like I says, you would be the first person to tell like them off if they weren't looking after themselves. So why is it okay for you to suffer, but like, you know what I mean? And like, let other people worry about you. And she said it's not. And I know it's hard when you lose somebody who you've been so close to for so long. But put yourselves in their shoes. If you've watched the near-death experiences since now, like I said, right, and you see people who pass over, who have come back and explained that the realisation of where they were, they understood the feelings and the colours and the music that they didn't see, they didn't hear, they felt, it was just something they cannot explain. Like, why, the only way that they could possibly suffer anymore is by seeing us suffering, you know? And like I always say to people, like, if you were in that situation and you seen like your son suffering the way you are, how would you feel? You know, and I know it's easy me sitting there saying like, you need to stay positive, you need to this, you need to that. I do get it. I do this every day. It's my profession. I know, and I see suffering every day, and it's horrendous. I was actually like on the like verge, the borderline of crying for her. I really was. Like I had tears in my eyes. Like it's horrendous. Like, some readings I do, they are horrendous, but I've just got to understand and accept the fact that I can only do what I can do. And I just think sometimes you've got to accept that, our loved ones are around us, because if they weren't, then how can I do what I do at the level I do it at? And if you've watched near-death experiences, NDEs, you'll start to understand a lot more of what I'm talking about. Just type it in on YouTube and watch as many of them as you can. Because I would honestly say, out of everything I've watched and learned myself, I would say the NDEs are definitely the most important thing that's helped me the most. And I also wrote down having the right attitude, as in like when you didn't want to do something, like maybe eat your breakfast, dinner, and tea, and get yourself where you're in like at least a position where you're not making yourself worse by like suffering with losing someone. Sometimes you've got to have the right attitude. Sometimes you've got to do things that you didn't want to do and you didn't feel like you do, but you have to keep yourself fitting well. And like I just think like the words having the right attitude towards anything really, whether you're going to have a serious operation or whether you've lost someone and you need to start looking after yourself. I think like, telling yourself I need to have the right attitude and sticking to what you need to do for the best is massively important. Like to me, I mean, there's times when I'm so tired and I've been reading a lot and like I feel, like I'm knackered, but I still say to myself, no, Steve, you've got to give you 100% of this next person you're going to read, because they could have been waiting 2 or 3 months to see me, and they want a strong connection. So me having the right attitude, as in I'm very, very driven, like does make a difference. And I think like with anything in life, I think you do have to have the right attitude. Um, I mean it's nearly 10 past 11. I've been reading since 5 o'clock. And I finished my readings. I've sorted out a few bookings and stuff, and I thought I'm going to make another YouTube video, and I'm going to talk about certain things, and I'm going to show you a few videos of readings that I've actually done as well at the end. So wait for that. Um, Other thing I wrote down as well was when you're getting older, you need to work harder. And what I mean by that is, like, I wrote down this because these are thoughts that I have in my head when I'm reading people. Like, and what I mean by that is, as we are getting older, like my wife, for an example, she's 51, she'll be 52 in December. And she's been weight training for a year now, and she's in amazing shape. Like, honestly, like, she's in really good shape. And I said to her, like, you've asked us to help you with your weight training and stuff like that, because obviously I've taught like mixed martial arts for years, and I know a lot about weight training, personal fitness and stuff. And she asked me, because I would never push it onto her. She says, like, I want to start weight training. And like, she's an hairdresser, and she said, Steve, do you know, obviously I do people's hairs, sorry, for all different ages. She went, like, I've done people's hair since I was 17, and they were like maybe in the 30s, and now we're like, they're in the 80s. Do you know what I mean? Or 70s. And she's saying, like, like, I see people are getting older, and she says, like, I want to weight train and I want to keep myself as strong and as fit and as agile as I possibly can for as old as I can. And like, it made total sense, what she said, because I thought to myself, like, she's totally right, because like, if you're weight training or doing some sort of training regime, you're keeping yourself fit and active, and you're keeping your muscles like strong and taut. It's like the good old saying, if you didn't use it, you lose it. Um, and I just think like as we get older, right? I mean, I'm 46 now, but as we get older, I think you need to look after yourself more, not less. Because I find time and time again through people I read, like as people get older, they think, oh, what's the point? What's the point? Like, what's the point in quitting smoking? I've been smoking since I was like 12, 13. What's the point in looking after myself now? I'm over the hill. What's the point of this? What's the point of that? Well, the point is, right? The point is, if you have got grandkids, right? Like my nana died when I was 10, and if your grandkids, which they will, love you and think the world of you as much as I did of me nana, right? You want to be around for as long as you possibly can for them and be as fit and as well as you can for them. Because believe me, right, when I say this, you never will ever understand the impact that you'll be having on your grandkids and your kids, because the impact that my nana in them 10 short years that I had with her will go on through to the day I die. I'll always remember my nana being there for me and like doing everything she possibly could. I can still remember me nana getting off the bus in Caithness Road in Hilton Castle, and like as the bus would pull away, she'd be standing there waiting as it goes past, and she'd come across the road, and she would always have either a little, like, the matchstick cars, like the little, I think they're called matchstick box cars. She would have either one of them, like the Dukes of Hazzard or something, or she would have sweets, or she'd have something, because she worked down in Sunderland City Centre, and she used to obviously, when she come home, she would always go to like a shop and buy you something. Every day, every single day. And them little things that she bought me, like, I will always remember and treasure in my mind. And I think like us keeping ourselves as fit and as active and as strong as we possibly can for as long as we can is not just going to like benefit us, it's going to benefit your next generation of children and your family massively, and your grandkids. Like you just like you need to think of others, not just yourself. Having the right attitude, it's just like it does make a massive difference. It really does. Now, right, enough waffle. I hope it's helped you anyway, like making this video. So the next bit anyway, I'm gonna put you a video. I've actually got my MacBook here right now, right? And I'm actually like gonna open it up, and I'm gonna put a video on the end of this now, right? What you can have a look at. This next video that I'm gonna show you is it's for It's about Elizabeth. She calls herself Gangster Granny on TikTok, and I'd read her live. No, I didn't. I apologise. I read her in a private reading, right? I read her in a private reading, and this reading like absolutely blew my mind. It really did. Um, just about the headstone. Like I was talking to her about a branch going across a headstone, and I couldn't understand what it meant. She says, "Aye, there's leaves dropping, blah blah." I said, "I don't know what it is. I keep seeing a branch, like across this headstone." It was just some significance with it. But anyway, it's everything that I'm explaining now is in this video. So have a watch of it. Tell us what you think in the comments, and I'll be at the end of it, and then I'll talk a little bit more. But anyway, watch this video. Hi guys, this like what I'm going to tell you is next is like crazy. Now, I just wanted to come on and tell you a little bit about a reading that I did earlier today. With one of my followers who's followed us for quite a while. I'd actually read her in an indoor bowling arena in Glasgow a few months ago. But obviously she'd booked, like, I'd read her in the audience, but she'd booked us for a FaceTime reading, like a video call. But I don't record FaceTime readings because I didn't like to risk them, you know what I mean? But when people have booked in with us. But you want to see this, like, honest to God, like, of all the readings I've done, and I've done some amazing readings, this, like, what I'm going to tell you is next is, like, crazy. Even I found it crazy. And, well, we'll call her Beth. Her name's Elizabeth, but she's called Gangster Granny, like, when she follows us on TikTok. But I didn't know what I was talking about. And I certainly think she didn't know what she was talking about. Like, I was talking about neither. But she'd lost her son, right? Without going into loads of details, she'd lost her son. And she says to us, she says, "Stephen, do you know there's only two mediums, like clairvoyants, who's brought my son through? You being at one, and the other one is, this is how crazy it is, right? Because the other medium that she was talking about, he's very famous in the clairvoyant world, right? And I'd actually read some of his books. I struggle to read them, but I read some of his books. God, it must have been about 12 years ago, maybe even longer, before I actually started this spiritual journey. I've actually met him as well in Durham. Actually, that's the photo of him, right there, right where I met him in Durham. And I look up to him quite a lot, like for what he's achieved in life, and he has been a pretty much a good inspiration for helping me as well, which I found crazy. But obviously Beth didn't understand. Like, I didn't see it now; she didn't realise. But she said, she went, "Well, this guy here, anyway." She says he's called Gordon Smith, right? And he's brought a few books out, a fair few books, and which I've read, and I've got a signed book of his as well now. But anyway, I was like really like thinking, God, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm on par with this guy, and but anyway, I'd read her today, right? And she'd lost a lot of her all of her photos of her son, and a lot of possessions that of her son's in a house fire. Like, terrible time. So I read it today. Honestly, this is crazy. What I'm going to show you is next. Anyway, I'm reading her and I'm talking about her, and I could see him as well, which is very unusual, but I could actually see him before I drew him. And I said he used to have spiky hair, and he used to always go and get his hair done, and she says, "Oh, I loved his hair and all that." He, like, you know, a lady's man. And anyway, like, I started talking to her about him being buried, and I said there was something about a tree or a branch, like, going over his grave, sorry. And I says, "I didn't know." I says, "I just keep seeing this big branch." Like, I says, the headstone are not a common colour, like black, like headstone, but that's what I could see, like, with a curved edge. And I says, but I keep seeing this tree branch, you know. And anyway, she never said anything about it, and now we were talking about other things. And then she went, the thing is, she went, like, the headstone, she went, what I done was, like, I thought it was just like an engraved, like, you know, like a gold sort of design of like a tree, like the tree of life. And she said, oh, like, I've got like a tree branch like going up and around the side of the headstone. In my vision was that it was like, you know, an engraved photo of it. And anyway, I says, I was just talking about like a tree branch going over like the grave, like with a tree. Could it not be that? And she went, actually it might be, you know, can I show you a photo of the headstone? Let me show you a photo of this headstone. I'll show you it on my screen, because this is the actual message, like, of a, like, that's the actual message, right? But I'll show you it properly on the screen, right? Which is going to be there now. Now that, right, what you're looking at, and I'll show you the full photo of it now, so have a look now, and you can hear me voice still. But you know, if you have a look round, like, that, I've never ever seen an amazing headstone as nice as that in my life. I don't know if any of yous watching us have. Feel free to leave a comment. But that's like, when I'm seeing, I can see a branch, like, obviously she didn't really click on what I didn't know. I was just seeing what I was getting, like, put into my head. But when she showed me, right, so when she showed me that photo, I was like, that is crazy. Because, like, I've just described his headstone, because all I wanted was to give her unanimous doubt, like, at all whatsoever, that her son was there. And I'm sure she's going to put comments, like, she will put a comment, when you, I know you'll have put it already, in this video, like, about the reading that she's had with us. But, like, that to me was just absolutely crazy. There's also a comment that she put on, which I'm going to show you now, just here. I might have it on the big picture, but I'm going to show you this comment now here, what she'd said about us as well, which was so nice. But it was just like, I just felt as if I needed to tell her that her son's all right, and that she's that he's with his nana, who spoiled him to bits as well, which is Beth's mum, which is there, look, because I drew a mum on her chest, and then if you look now, that's a photo of them side by side, which she sent me after, right? Then this is the photo of her son, and that's the photo of her son side by side as well, which I'll put on, like, the big picture so you can see it all properly. So I'm going to disappear now, so watch. I mean, look at that. I mean, honestly, right, I got a shock as well, you know, guys. Like, that really shocked me as well. Enough that I've actually, like, stopped everything I'm doing and all the messages I need to answer. Like, because I've got a website up and running now, which is stephenblackclairvoyant.com, which has got all of my shows, anything you need to know about me, like whether it's any of the services I provide, whether it's for private reading, FaceTime readings, which is all I do, or if you want to book tickets for a certain show that I'm going to be coming to, everything is on that website above my head right now. So if you just want to like, anything you need to know about me, visit that website. And obviously it's got all, like, my links and everything and videos and stuff like that. I mean, it's took a long time. I mean, the guy, Jason, well, I class him as a friend of mine now, Jason Savage, he's the one who's made that website for us. And I tell you what, I kind of recommend him enough. He's put things on that website that, like, I hadn't even thought of. It's like if you bought, like, a really exclusive, nice, like, posh car, and you'd, like, sort of, it's got, like, heated steering wheels and, like, really, like, nice things that you wouldn't expect to have until you, like, sit in it. That's what the website was like. I was like, he put things on the website, I was getting like, I never even thought of that, but, like, what a good idea. Honestly, if you ever need a website, like, www.wombatcreative.co.uk, get in touch with him, because he is, like, unbelievable at making websites. Like, I can't thank him enough for what he's done. But check it out. But Beth, as you're watching now, thank you so much for allowing me to make this video and show everyone how amazing that your reading was for you and your son. And I just really sincerely hope this from the bottom of my heart. I hope it's brought you comfort, and I hope you can now move forward with your life as best as possible and start pushing yourself. And thanks every one of you for watching. please give us a follow and make sure you leave a comment, because your comments and your follows makes me want to make more videos for you, because I know people are watching them. But anyway, I'll catch you all later, right? So take care, guys, and thanks for watching. Right, what's your names? Hold on a second before you tell us. Right, what's your name, sorry?
Nigel.
Nigel. Nigel, was his mum like? Again, I get like, she wasn't just your mum, she was like your mate, do you know what I mean? Like I'm not touching her already, but that's what I feel. Sorry?
Best friend. She knew everything about us and she knew everything.
And you've got sisters as well, you?
Two sisters.
Two sisters. I've got two, but you already tell us. Like I said, sisters. No, because I feel like you were the golden balls, you know what I mean? Like, is that what you want to call that?
Yeah.
Because I feel like you were like you know, whatever was going on, you would always like get the money, whatever you wanted, like rather get the rest of the fend for themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you stop at your mom's life for a long time? Like,
I used to always go back home.
like were you at your mom's more than anyone else? You know, like when you moved out, would you always be at your mom's? Like if you finish work, you always come and see it before you come home, or you kind of on the weekends, like you always make an effort with that.
I was up until the last couple of years then.
Was she getting forgetful in the end or something?
Not really forgetful though.
I just get a deterioration with that.
Cancer.
I get like as if it was over a couple of years ago. Like I know I was diagnosed, but she's saying like it was something I'll be with her for like a while, you know?
Yeah, she didn't go for tests.
Was it downstairs or something? Like cervical?
It was bowel cancer.
Well, I'm getting down there,
Yeah.
which, you know, talking about cancer and that, but I'm getting took down there, that's where I started. But I feel like she had issues before, you know what I mean? But I think it was bleeding.
She kept it all close.
I just realised it was bleeding. It was bleeding, and it got worse, and then because she was stubborn. She was a stubborn woman around the doctors and stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
she never went to the
She would
doctors.
kick off for years. She would kick off for years and years went around the doctors. Sorry, what you going to say there?
She never went to the doctors since the sister was born 39 years ago.
Well, that makes sense because I feel like she's saying, like, if she'd have went to the doctors, maybe things wouldn't have went too quick.
So
with that?
Yeah, she only went for scans that would have picked up earlier.
Well, I don't know, like seeing stuff like this because I didn't know what years walking out with anything and all, we should win a swimming and stuff. You know what I mean? Because like it happened the way it happened. But I feel like she was like that in life anyway. Like what will be will be. She used to always say that to you. Like what will be will be. What will happen? Do you know what I mean? It's like a feeling song really. She used to say it all the time. Who was Amanda or Mandy? Was that a friend of hers? I don't know, I just keep that name because it pops in my head.
Anne Bell was her best friend.
Anne Bell?
Anne Bell. She died some few years before you.
No, I didn't get on. I got Amanda or Mandy. But I got a bit of friends. Like I feel like she had a lot of friends, but she had some close ones. Like, you know what I mean? Like she was very well liked, man.
Six of them grew from school. All stayed together.
Well, I didn't know that, but obviously you tell us. But I'm getting that she had a lot of friends, but she was really close to it, like some of them. But I just feel like you were like that. She would never admit it to the sisters, but you were like the golden child, like you were the one. Like she was really cool. She loved you all the same, but you know had a very special bond, you know what I mean? Did you flip your lid like in the hospital or something?
Trying to commit suicide.
You tried to commit suicide? Not because she's saying that you flipped your lid in the hospital and she's saying like you went off it. Like really bad, and she says like she's glad that you're now finally coming to terms with it because it was horrendous. She's saying it was horrendous, like how bad, like you couldn't handle her dying, you know what I mean? And you flipped your lid in the hospital. You tried to commit suicide.
I've got a witness now.
Sorry, you've got where you know. She's always around spiritually anyway. You know, she's always around, but she's just like she's saying like you know these episodes and that like when you're going on, like you've got to stop it, you know what I mean? She didn't bring you up for you to like not live your life. You know, you still got an opportunity to live your life. You know, she wants you to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You must have get really bad at hospital, mind. Like you must have proper lost it, like.
Yeah.
But they happen to kind of like grab you and that, but you just kind of mental or something.
Yeah.
Like shouting your head off and that.
I was shouting. Irish, yeah, my brothers. Yeah.
But your mum, I don't know, she was aware of like that happened. Do you know what I mean? Are you close more to one sister than the other now?
Yeah.
And is this her here?
No, my sister's a river.
Sister, no, because she's mentioning about like she's placed like you're still like marking it for one of your sisters. Is she younger than you, your sister?
Yeah, there's the older.
Aye, because I'm getting that you're being younger than you, but one of them you didn't see so much, but the other one you're still close to.
The other one lives in Manchester.
Oh, I'm getting a message, Alma. There's one that lives in Manchester, is that right? Yeah, so I'm good in that. Will you stop turning it? No, because I'm getting like, she's saying, like she understands why you're not so close to one, but you're more closer to the other, but you're still making an effort with her. You know what I mean? Like she likes that the family like is still keeping like everything together, do you know? Stop putting yourself down, no. She's saying that you're always putting yourself down, like confidence is up your bum half the time. Does that make sense? And stop living in the past as well. You still can know these things, but you've like the hospital and you know, you torture yourself at times, you get yourself upset about it, just saying let it down. You know, she wants you to move forward with your life and enjoy it, you know. Did she always take us all over as kids, like? Like, would you always have you out different places, down the beach, or different things, or markets, or whatever?
She used to take me, my brother, my two sisters, four of my cousins, all around in one Volvo estate, everywhere, like Water Valley.
I because I feel as if she's saying to us that she used to take your two sisters, you and your brother, and your cousins, in the Volvo estate, all over the place, in Teen Valley as well. Is that right? Yeah. Hey, say honest, you know, I'm surprised you said at times. No, all I got, being honest, is that she's bringing this memory in of like taking us all over the place. Who I didn't know, what card I didn't know, but you're seeing she was proud and pleased that she had that chance to take her kids and everyone else to want to come with her because she wanted you to have a childhood that she should have had, and that's why she always took us all over the place, and she always treasures their memories because that kept her happy. Not that she gives you a really good childhood, but she wants you to move forward with your kids and be happy. She doesn't want you torturing yourselves about her. She's had her life. Do you know what I mean? And like, she's still always around you, you know she is. You've even smelled her. There's been a few times you've smelled your mum, not you, yeah? Do you know what I mean? And she is, she's always around you. She had that certain smell, but you can't experience it to smell. But you've smelled it, you know what I mean, didn't you? Yeah. Does that make sense, does it?
Yeah, 100%.
Right, well, I want to leave it over with you. Is that okay? Right, thank you.
I'm Blake, and this is Wall's End Labour Club. It's the Stephen Black Mediumship Show. You've had a reading tonight, which tell us all about it.
Blew us away, to be honest. A couple of things he said, only a handful of people knew about. Me trying to commit suicide after my mum died. Nobody apart from the close family knew why I was in hospital. They all thought it was something else. My sisters, my relationship with my sisters, as I say, one of them lives away. I don't say her that much. The other one, she's been through a tough time recently. We nearly lost her, so I've become very close to her again. Everybody in the family used to always say I was the favourite out of everybody. The gold, as he said, I was the golden child. The exact words that my mum used to use.
Even tonight, listening to Stephen, listen to the evidence. I mean, there's no way on this earth could that have been guessed unless your mother was here. Tonight, telling...
Well, I knew when he drew the photograph, when the picture was coming up, as soon as he did the eyes, I got a feeling, and I said to Angie, my partner, that's my mum. And as the picture then came through, I knew straight away it was. I'd give you the first picture, which was a few weeks before she died. and obviously everyone went no, but then when something inside of us went, I've got another picture here of me mum, and then as soon as I put that picture up and blew it up, it was just the exact same as me mum. It's just...
Your mum was here, clearly. So how does it feel knowing that fact? How do you feel now after the reading?
I feel as though my life's going to change from this moment on. Like, I really do. Something inside of us is just... I can't describe it. Like, I can feel around us now. You know, I feel at peace with how she's died. You know, we found out after she died that this had been there for a long time and she'd never told us. So
it must be awful, because we're sons at the end of the day, we're mummy's boys. But tonight's reading from Stephen, I could just sense absolute closure.
oh, totally, yeah. I'm just happy now, and I can go and tell me dad, who's been really struggling with me mum's loss. They were together from the age of 13. You know, nearly 60 years together and never had a day apart. And I can go now and I can sit him down and I can tell him my mum's all right.
She's at peace. Yeah, absolutely. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.
So that was Nigel, and I brought his mum through for him, and he obviously, as you can tell by, well, even the look on his face, the things he said, the reactions of Blake interviewing him, how much of an impact it's had on him, and how much it's going to help him and also his dad, to let them both know that his mum is okay. Because when I read people, I believe, not always, but more often than not, I believe that your loved ones will bring validation through. They'll let you know that they're there by telling you specific things that only you will know. After they've give you the validation, what I believe is, once they've told you things that only you will know, whether it's a name, whether it's a date, you know, specific items, how they've passed, whatever it is. After that, I think that's when I always find that they'll come at us and show us things or tell us things that they want their loved ones to be happy about and moving forward with their life. I always, in all the readings I get, always get told that the person, whoever is receiving this information, the receptor of the reading I'm doing, like, I always get told that they want them to be happy. Always. They want them smiling more. They're okay where they are, you know. Because it is an horrendously close, touchy subject when you're reading someone who's lost somebody so close to them, whoever that is. Like, and you're telling them that they need to get on with their life, but not like in them sort of heartfelt words. It's more like, you know, I'm being told that the loved ones are okay where they are, but if you want them to be even better and feel better, they want to see you better and happier and moving on with your life. That's what I repeatedly sort of get told all the time to tell people, because it works with me through my train of thought. You know, like I get a thought and I get visions of like things like, you know, that I see, and I just see whatever I'm getting. But all the time I get told, like, you know, whoever it is, you know, they'll say like, will you tell me mum, who's like getting a reading off you now, that I'm okay where I am, and she wants her to be happy and smiling more, you know, because like it must kill them twice when they're sitting, you know, wherever they are, and they're witnessing the like outcries where, you know, like where somebody's just struggling so bad and they're not getting on with their life. Because I'll be honest, and I've actually said this to my daughter and my wife. I've said, you know, whatever happens to me, whenever it happens, and however I was to pass, I've always says to them, I would not want years crying and getting upset over me. Yeah, I've a little bit, I get that, but I didn't want your lives ruined. I mean, I says that even if, like, you know, whatever way I died, I'm not going to get into details, but whichever way I died, think of in a horrendous way to pass away, right? Whether it's burning or whatever, right? But think of a really bad way you could like pass away. Would that, right, if you've got kids, do you think that would be worse than seeing your family and loved ones suffering? Whichever way you passed. So you pass and you see your loved ones who are still here, alive, living, suffering every day. Do you think that would be worse than whatever you passed of? Because my answer to that is, it's just my opinion, I would personally know that I would find it worse seeing my loved ones suffering than what it would of anything that I could pass off. And I want you to think about that, right? Think about the people who you have lost, right? And think, do you think you would want to see them suffering the way you are? I already know the answer. I'm a clairvoyant after all. The answer would be no, you wouldn't. So always think of that when you're getting yourself down or you're getting yourself upset and you're feeling in a bad place. Just think, would they want to see you like that? Because the answer will be no. And that's why you've got to force yourself with the right attitude to push yourself, you know. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. As I've said in the last video, and I'm going to say it in this video, if you've enjoyed it and you've enjoyed, like, you know, watching a couple of like videos that I've done on readings and stuff, like, leave a comment right down below, right, and tell us what you think. I'm available on, when I say available, I am actively on TikTok, Stephen Black Clairvoyant, right? I've got over 40,000 followers now, or 41,000, no, 40,100, because it's weird how it counts. I'm on Facebook, Stephen Black Clairvoyant. I'm on YouTube, where you're probably watching this from, Stephen Black Clairvoyant. I'm on Instagram, Stephen Black Clairvoyant. I've got my own website, stephenblackclairvoyant.com. Stephen with a PH, by the way. So if you want to follow us, whether it's on TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram, or YouTube, that's the name you need to type in. If you want to have a look up and see about all the shows that I'm doing later this year, if you go on the stephenblackclairvoyant.com website, all of my shows in all the areas that I'm doing, with all the dates that I'm doing them on, are all on that website. You can click on that website and it will take you to my Stephen Black Clairvoyant business page if you want to book a private personal reading in with us. But basically, anything you want to know about me, right, regarding, like, you know, the services I provide, go on stephenblackclairvoyant.com. Right, that's where you can purchase tickets from. That's where you can have a look at what shows I'm doing and where I'm doing them at. And if you want to book reading, you can click on that and it'll take you directly to my page anyway. But as I've already said, I'll say it again. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will catch you on the next one.